Hi, I'm Allie with the Potomac Bead Company, and I'm going to show you a nice, simple summer wear necklace. This is made with waxed linen cording. You can make it with waxed linen cording, you can make it with silk cording, hemp, depending on the size of your holes. Really, any cording will work for this, as long as your beads will fit inside of the cording for hole size. This is also a nice thing that you can double up. You can wear as a bracelet, as a necklace. I prefer to make them long, and then what you can do while they're made long is you can just slip it over your head. It gives a nice summer look, and it's something that gets a lot of compliments, even though it's really, really simple. So what I'm going to start out with is my wax linen cording. I chose to use this because I can fit more things on it because it's really easy to string on. I have about 5 feet, and what I've done is doubled that section over. So I have about 2.5 feet on each side. The first thing I'm going to do is just tie an overhand, simple overhand knot, and make a loop. And I'm going to make this loop for my button that I put at the end. You see this one here has a button at the end. I'm going to make that loop so that my button can go through. And now I'm going to work. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to be working with one side, and I'm going to be knotting the other. I'm going to put my first bead on, and I just have a collection here of glass pearls and check glass. And I'm putting my first bead on. I take it and I move it right up next to the knot. And then all I'm going to do is tie an overhand knot. And just tie the 2 threads of your wax linen together. Now I can choose if I want to give a little bit more space, if I want to put the bead on. So I'm going to let a little bit more space hang out before I put my next bead on. And what I can do then is tie a knot and continue like I did with the first one. I'm going to tie a knot, and then I am going to pull that knot and I'm going to put on a bead next. So this is only if you want spacing in between your necklace. You don't need to have this. And I'll also show you a simpler way to do this. So I'm going to put my next bead on. I'm putting one of my glass pearls on, and I'm going to move this up to my knot. What I can do is, if I want it to be nice and simple, is I can leave that same amount of space and tie my knot together with just a double tied knot, and I can tie that together and then just pull that cording right through the knot. And that's going to be an easier way to get that. So it eliminates one of the knots. So it's a different look. And what will happen with this is it'll slide around, whereas the first one will pretty much stay in place. So I can continue on doing this and knotting and adding and knotting and adding. And then when I get to the end, I will show you how to put your button on. So now that I've done stringing, what I'm going to do is show you how to attach your clasp. I like to use buttons for these clasps. We have a lot of great buttons, and you can use them if you have 2 holes or 4 holes to them. And what I like to do is take the cording up through the button from the back end and bring it down. So this is one piece of my cording is going on one side. On the other side, I'm going to take my cording up through the top of the button, down through the back of the button. So now I have my 2 cords ending at the back of the button. At the front, I'm just going to have a little crisscross design. If you don't like the crisscross design, you can take the cording from top to bottom rather than across. And I'm going to pull these cords tight. And what's going to happen is they're going to go right next to the knot then. The last thing I need to do to finish this project is tie these 2 pieces of cording together in a square knot fashion. And then just so it sits correctly, I also then take these here and grab on to my other piece of thread that's coming out. So that wax linen that went into the button to start with where my knot was, I'm going to knot around that with my extra 2 pieces of tails. Give that a knot. And then you can choose. With the wax linen, you usually don't have to. If you're using silk, I would glue the base of those buttons, and then I'm going to trim them down. And then what you're going to have is you have your loop on the other side that you can put into your button, and you have a double-stranded bracelet, a necklace, kind of depends on how long you want to make it. If you do make it about 40 inches long, it usually will go around your wrist several times, as well as hang like a nice long necklace. So you can do a bracelet style like this, you can do a necklace. It's kind of up to you. It looks nice as a simple, quick wrap. And that's the way that you can do this simple knotted bracelet. And depending on what you use, you may want to think about which types of corning to use, what types of clasp you're doing either. But this is a super simple, make it in 5 minutes sort of project. So hopefully you have some spare beads, use some random stuff, wax linen cording, cotton cording, or a silk cording are your best options. So thanks for watching.